Welcome to Wrestling Over Everything, everybody. We're a very funny wrestling podcast out of the Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
Follow us on Instagram. I don't know why I led with Instagram. We barely use Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube. Hit the bell. Get the notifications. Send us a comment. We're also on TikTok and Blue Sky. Instagram is on the bottom of that Mount Rushmore. It is I don't even know who's on Mount Rushmore. As a patriotic American, don't know who's on there. I think Abe's on there. I think we got a Teddy Roosevelt situation on there. Instagram's one of the other two guys. But shout out to the guy who sent us a comment about us talking about Big Boss Man, DJ D-Dame, I don't know, man. D-Dame. He said, y'all crack me up every time you call this Big Boss Man a cop. He was most definitely a correctional officer. I said, dog, he drives a police cruiser.
Yeah, he's not driving civilian vehicles out here. Also, he's administering like the actual like sentencing, which is not his job. If he's just a correctional officer. In real life, Ray Traylor, a correctional officer. I think the Big Boss Man is kind of a Judge Dredd situation where he's the judge, jury, and executioner.
That's the thing. He's kind of a mishmash. I was taking a bath of a bunch of different types of law enforcement officer, but we always say a pig's a pig. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Everybody knows I back the blue.
Is that where you want to be? Is that
somewhere mostly?
You probably cut this.
It's a very complicated. It's a very complicated scenario. Some of them are undertrained, a lot of them are underpaid. They're under a lot of stress, and also some of them are bad dudes. So that's my anyway. But
WrestleMania 8. I'm gonna bail out.
We appreciate
the life preserver.
We thank you very much. We do appreciate the comment, and you do honestly, like Ray Traylor was a correctional officer, and he probably there's a little bit of CO in the character, but we do also hold that there is some police officer in the character. Is that fair, Dusty?
Yeah, I think, well, especially in like Attitude Era Big Boss Man, he's in like tactical gear and shit. That's like SWAT team Big Boss
Militarized
Man.
Police.
Yeah.
Which is a complicated, I'm just kidding. WrestleMania 8, everybody. We previously watched Royal Rumble 1992, in which Ric Flair just beat the dog shit out of everybody. And then
just ran the field. Yep.
And so we were trying to decide if we were just going to do Flair versus Savage, right? Or do WrestleMania 8 as a whole. And we haven't watched a whole event in a while, so we figured we'd do this.
Well, yeah, and this is an interesting one anyway, because you could kind of see the beginning of the divide from like the 80s WWF into the 90s WWF. Even though some of this stuff is really funny if you look at it through the lens of today, as far as like some of the ideas that I'll bring up that they're wrestling with at the time. But WrestleMania 8 is an interesting show because it's technically more acclaimed and bigger than WrestleMania 7, but 8 is also not really like, it's well remembered for a few things that happened, but it's also looked at as like, oh, they were really down. This is the beginning of them being really down as far as business goes.
And that's interesting because they've got a lot of guys who we consider to be some of the biggest wrestlers of all time. They've got Hulk Hogan, they've got Randy Savage, they've got Ric Flair, they've got The Undertaker, but Undertaker's young. You know what I mean? This is early Taker. They've got Mr. Perfect. They've got Bret Hart. They've got early Shawn Michaels. So like some of those guys are still like kind of cutting their teeth, obviously, but they've got some of the biggest wrestlers, like literally a Mount Rushmore on their roster, and they're struggling. So it's an interesting time. I'm going to tell you right now off the rip, I did not watch. Well, I watched, but I didn't watch Tatanka versus Rick Martel. Didn't really. I couldn't be bothered.
You missed a 5-star classic, man.
It was on. It was on.
You were looking at. You were there, but you were, I
was looking at Fountain Pen online
and finding out that it's an excessive market.
Yeah, we found I
for
showed Dusty before we got on an $1,100 fountain pen that I don't even want.
yeah,
Like,
it doesn't do anything. Like, it would need to be like that pin in Seinfeld, the astronaut pin that writes upside down, that they're that they keep talking about in the one episode. Yeah, so WrestleMania 8, we are coming in. It's April 5th, 1992. I think, first, to lay a little bit of the groundwork, the obvious main event that everybody thought when Flair joins the WWF is like, oh, you've got to do Flair and Hogan. Like, that's the match that everybody wants to see and that we've never got to see. And so the big question is, why do they not do that match? And I think the main thing that happens is they run it on a bunch of house shows in California in December of 91, and they don't draw that well. And it's they
so
do
they
some
had, listen,
go ahead.
they had Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan in 1991 at house shows, and they didn't sell tickets.
It apparently underperformed. I don't know exactly what they thought it would do, but it was soft versus what they anticipated. And so Vince started getting cold feet about, oh, maybe this match isn't as big as I've been sold that everybody wants it to be.
It still had to be bigger than, like, you know, Flair. Like, does that mean? And you might not have this answer, and that's okay. But does that mean that, like, Flair and Savage was outperforming it?
Well, I think that's why they moved to a double main event, because they're
okay.
like, oh, we split
them up a little bit.
Yeah, we could sell 2 matches, and maybe since we don't have one marquee match in our minds, maybe we could do 2, and then we can get, we can double dip.
I love big matches, dude. You know me, I'm a marquee mark.
Yeah, you want
I bring around the funky bunch, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So they're like,
but we don't charge for this podcast.
Yeah, this is all,
it's crazy.
This is the fact we aren't making money off of this, insane.
It's unbelievable. I can't afford to even finish renovating the room that I'm in.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we don't think that this match is the match that we want. And I think there's some reasons why. I think putting those matches in California, which is not a Flair or NWA stronghold, might have played a part in this, because on the West Coast, like, Flair's just not as well known. Not to say that Flair isn't very famous, but he's not as famous. They never came out here as much.
So you think if they did it in Tennessee, it probably would have packed the house?
If they did it in Charlotte, if they did it in Greensboro, like, those are the Flair strongholds. And so I think the match maybe does better. And on pay-per-view, obviously the match does well 2 years later when WCW runs it, and it becomes their most successful pay-per-view ever at the time. So
it's
like,
sometimes you can just overthink things,
right?
You know what I mean?
You could scare yourself off of a sure thing.
So does WWF at this time, do they never do Flair versus Hogan?
They never do it.
That's crazy.
Like,
it's funny because hindsight's 2020, so it's easy for me to make fun of, like, Vince McMahon, who is probably the best wrestling promoter of all time. It's funny I love, like, stepping back and watching all the times that they pooped in their shoes, and, like, I just feel like you put Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan together the night you sign them, like, you put together a special event.
Yeah, that's what everybody thought would happen. But I will say, I think the show is better off for it. I think the show is better in this iteration. Maybe not buy rate wise or whatever, but, like, this show does pretty okay. There's 62,167 people in attendance. They're at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is sort of the first indication that they might be taking a step back, because not to denigrate the fine people of Indiana, but that is not what you think of as a marquee location for a WrestleMania. It's like, until then, it's New York City, Chicago, they're running Toronto, they're running the LA Coliseum, and then boom, Indiana, the Hoosier Dome. And I looked it up because I was like, maybe the Hoosier Dome's new and that's why they run it. No, opened in 1982. So they were just trying to find a market maybe that they hadn't been to, or a place that they still had a stronghold for, because business is down.
Pretty good poster.
It's a cool poster. The Art Deco thing is also kind of weird. That it's because the other posters that they've done are not like this for WWF at the time. So they're clearly trying some sort of new palette, to switch things up.
For 1992, this was probably like modernization, because this is when I see you take the wrestlers out of this and you just show me those colors, I go 90s.
Yeah.
It's all right because I'm saved by the bell.
Yeah. This looks like a poster for the Max. If they were having WrestleMania at the Max,
that would have been sick,
Pit,
dude.
if it were 90210. Yeah, but Zach Morris would have been trying to scalp tickets to WrestleMania, and then he would have got caught. He would have sold Mr. Belding wolf tickets to Hogan versus Flair,
dude,
and it doesn't happen.
AC Slater would have beat the fuck out of Kurt Hennig, bro. Yeah, he would have just destroyed him.
You would have watched AC Slater versus the model Rick Bartel. So
100% I would have. Shout out to Mario Lopez.
The show opens with a classic Vince McMahon I'm on cocaine voiceover where he's just yelling.
Who's on more uppers, Vince McMahon or Jesse Spano?
Ooh, who's more afraid?
I'm just so tired.
Yeah, I'm so scared. Hogan it's being dubbed as Hulk Hogan's last match. Could this be the end of Hulkamania? The rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Yeah, that's what Hulk Hogan saying in 92.
Not even moderately close.
No.
I'm about to listen. I'm about to. You guys don't know. In a few years, I'm about to bend this whole place over a barrel.
Yeah, for about 2 years, I'm about to make you taste the laces of my boots, Vince. So we opened the show. It's Reba McEntire, and Reba McEntire's hella 1992 hair. She's in full country music 1992 hair and 1992 big ass belt buckle for Reba.
Every time I see Reba McEntire, I am reminded about how much she looks like my mother. My mom looked a lot like Reba, like Reba, but she goddamn, even in this picture she does. Oh, hold on, it's playing and I can't play it because then we'll get demonetized. I'm trying to get a freaking screenshot, and I had a perfect one when the audio started playing. But she absolutely rocked this Star Spangled Banner. And listen, one of the things that you need that the World Cup will teach you is that the Star Spangled Banner kind of stinks. It's not one of the better. And I listen, once again, patriotic American man.
I was going to say, as a true patriot, I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Every other one of every other. I'm probably not every other. Like some of the Russian countries have really annoying ones, but like God Save the Queen is so much better. Oh Canada is a banger. I'm gonna listen to Oh Canada at the gym. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Star Spangled Banner is fine. It's just not. It's not that good.
When it gets to the ramparts, that part gets me. When they start really like.
Will they start ramping it up a little bit?
Yeah, ramping it up to hit the high notes at the end. I thought Reba was really good here. Her belt buckle is dope as hell.
I gotta find that belt buckle.
But I loved their pan in the crowd during that guy.
Oh, there it is.
We missed him. But during while Rita's singing classic dad move, there's a dad with his hand on his belly instead of his heart. But he's standing up. He's still doing it.
Listen, an American man's heart is in his belly.
That's
all know
true.
This.
We all know that.
We also see a Vlad the Superfan during this, and Bobby the Brain Heenan insinuates that Reba McEntire is Tito Santana's cousin. because
Reba McEntire.
Reba McEntire.
Dude, Heenan is throwing gas this entire show. Like
he really does kill it.
He is at the top. He is at the top of his game. Our opening match: El Matador, Tito Santana versus Shawn Michaels with Sensational Sherry. We watched Royal Rumble '92 last week, and that's right after Shawn turns heel, and by WrestleMania 2 months later, he's essentially got the beginnings of the Heartbreak Kid character. Like he's got the jacket. And
I also love this guy for the
this
record.
Guy, yep.
What do you think?
What do you think?
What?
Do you think I bring my miniature American flag or my big American flag to WrestleMania?
No, they got they've got a rectangle while you're walking in that you have to hold your American flag up, and if it's too big for the rectangle, it can't fit in.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like the beginning of the Heartbreak Kid. He's got a jacket on that says "I'm too sexy for this crowd," which is great.
Yeah.
It is the early Sexy Boy song with a girl singing.
That's Sherry. It's Sherry's voice.
Oh, she recorded it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's funny, like it's so much funnier when that Shawn Michaels sings his own entrance theme. I know they have to get to that once he doesn't have a manager, but it's so much better for the character if he's the one singing about how sexy he is.
Yeah, and it's like grunted. It's like, you think I'm cute.
Yeah,
I know I'm sexy. Like that type of shit.
Because
like,
he can't sing, so it's
yeah. And the Sherry one's good. She did a good job.
Like they've got like a weird kind of like leather and lace thing going on. It's a big deal that Sherry's with Shawn because she was only with top guys as their manager at that point, like is Macho King, Ted DiBiase, Shawn Michaels, so it gives him credibility. This is Shawn's first singles match at WrestleMania. He had been he'd been at 3 other WrestleManias before this. And this is Tito Santana's last WrestleMania on the main card. He had been at all 8 previous WrestleManias on the card. So Tito's long in the tooth in the company.
It's Chico Santana Monsoon.
It's the last one before he goes to the Baja. He retires to the Baja. This is a pretty good match. I like, there's a part where Tito is doing a headlock and he's just like, he's working the shit out of this headlock. And Gorilla Monsoon goes, I've never seen anybody win with a side headlock. And Heenan goes, I've beaten a few guys with it. He goes, who'd you ever beat with this? And he goes, I got a million ways to beat a guy. And then Shawn takes over and he does the rear chin lock, which is the heel's side headlock. The babyface has dibs on the side headlock as his rest hold. The heel, it's the rear chin lock. That's how they break it down.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. This is by the way, also terrible haircut on this referee.
He looks like George Harrison during the Mop Top Beatles.
He looks like there's I gotta find it. I'm in full screen mode, so I gotta switch over. But there's this guy James Heydrich, who is a fraudulent he's a guy that used to go on like Johnny Carson and say he can move things with his brain.
Oh, okay.
And Dr. James Randi exposed him. But check this out, dude. It's the same hair.
That might be the same guy. He might have once he got exposed, he went into a different carny business once he was exposed for not being a mentalist.
Also a little Oliver Tree-ish, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Tito hits both of his finishes in this match. He hits a flying forearm and Shawn falls to the floor, and then he hits his other finisher, which is like the flying punch to the back of the head, and Shawn falls to the floor. They should have figured one of those out to do and then just had that happen. But then on the way back in, Tito goes to slam Shawn into the ring, and Shawn grabs the top rope, falls on top of him, gets the pin. 10 minutes 38 seconds. This got 2 stars. Shawn had some really great selling in this match. This is a pretty good opening WrestleMania, but it's not, anything particular to write home about. It's only interesting because it's Shawn's first WrestleMania.
Yeah, and we do see a sweet chin music. Gorilla Monsoon calls it a reverse crescent kick.
Yep.
And And Bobby Heenan goes, he knocked out all of his teeth. You ever had menudo through a straw?
Yeah, it was not quite super yet. The sidekick. Sean worked through like a few different finishes before he ended up being like, oh, I should just do the super kick. That's like, I can do that to anybody, because his finish at this point is like, it's called a teardrop suplex, which looks really cool, but to be a top guy, especially in WWF, he can't lift Yokozuna to do this move, so he ends up, that's why he settles on the super kick.
Was Shawn Michaels like really hated as a heel right now? Because there was a woman in the crowd when Shawn Michaels gets hurt and thrown out of the ring who starts screaming, like literally like tearing her vocal cords, screaming, "You got what you deserved, Shawn."
Well, he did throw Marty Jannetty. Should we forget?
I forgot, yeah.
He did throw Jannetty through the stained glass window. Yeah. And also, talk is cheap, so she signed.
Yeah, we got to talk is cheap, so she's signed with the 90s guys. Look at the three 90s stooges in the front right here.
Yep.
Just a cast of characters, man. What do you think they got into after this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Those
this guy on the left looks like he's wearing a disguise.
Yeah. I was gonna say that dude's in witness protection, and he was like working out a deal with his agent, where he's like, I can still go to WrestleMania though, right?
Yeah, like, listen, I will flip on the mob, but I need tickets to WrestleMania 8 at the Hoosier Dome.
I hear it's the end of Hulkamania. I got to be able to see that live.
Just don't give me a ridiculous haircut that makes no sense. They couldn't meet every demand.
Okerlund is on the stage, and he introduces the Legion of Doom for an interview. And Legion of Doom comes out, and
does he just say something like "Here they come"?
Yeah.
All he says?
And then the LOD's music hits. That's and then so now they're introducing Paul Ellering, who was their manager during their classic run in the NWA and in the 80s. He's been brought into WWF to add something to the Legion of Doom's package. But Paul Ellering looks like the villain in a movie where there are kids to thwart him. Like, he looks like a Three Ninjas or a Surf Ninjas or a Blank Check movie villain. Like, he definitely has the vibe of like, these damn kids are gonna get in the way of me taking over this oil company or whatever.
I talked about this with the Three Ninjas. This is definitely a pre 9/11 movie villain.
Yeah, he's just evil business, nondescript business owner.
And at one point, he like puts his hand out. He's got like some like chicken scratch written on his hand, like right here. But I don't think it was actual. I don't even know if I couldn't tell if it like I couldn't see words. Like, I don't know if he accidentally got himself with a pen or something. Maybe he was messing with an $1,100 fountain pen. But it was interesting.
So the LOD cut a promo. They always look great, and they're shot really well here. Like, they do like a worm's eye view shot of Animal to make him look even bigger and more giant than Animal already looks. And like, this is fine, but it goes on a while. Like, they each round robin the promo. It was like Paul Ellering starts, he throws it to Animal throws it to Hawk, who throws it back to Paul
Ellering. Everybody got like one too many turns in this whole thing, and they were speaking like classic WWF in the 90s and 80s nonsense that makes no sense. They're trying to recite the Iliad, but they don't know what any of these words mean.
Yeah. I think
it's Lod, so it's cool.
Yeah, Paul Ellering's like, when my boys are bad, they're very bad, but when they're good, I thought he was gonna do, when my boys are bad, they're very bad, but when they're good, they're even better, or something to that effect. But it's when they're bad, they're very bad, and when they're good, they're very good. Oh, okay.
I think it's him or Hawk. I didn't write down who said this, but I think it's Ellering. He says, from the rocking of the cradle to the rolling of the hearse, all the tag teams ask themselves this question: is the going up worth the coming down? What?
Yeah, that's riddle me this. Answer me these questions 3, and they went to the you will avoid.
They went to the Warrior School of wrestling promos.
Yeah.
Just sound epic and look cool, because they look cool, man. Who looks cooler than freaking guys, you know?
They're like, hey, come to Indiana, show up in your gear. You're just doing a promo.
Yeah.
And so
And Hawk was like, fuck yeah. Wait, do they have cocaine in Indiana?
yeah, it hasn't made it to Indiana yet. Oh, then I'm there.
Fuck yeah.
So then we go backstage, and Jake the Snake is backstage in a very like this is almost an X-rated tights on Jake the Snake. There's like a lady with a snake wrapped around her that the camera starts on before it pans up to Jake. And I thought he cut a pretty good promo here. He's talking about how crooked Jack Tunney won't let him bring a snake to the ring anymore because he used a cobra on Macho Man, a reactionary a reactionary move by Jack Tunney.
Well, and it's very funny for someone to say that the guy is crooked for not allowing him to bring a deadly wild animal into the ring
But
before he wrestles a man.
The snake. If I don't have a snake, who am I? Yeah,
that is true. There's his tights. You know, classy. That reminds me. My grandpa had a scantily clad pirate lady painted on his houseboat, and my parents wouldn't let me jump off that side of the boat.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely like 80s Conan the Barbarian type shit that he's got on his tights. This comes out of the Undertaker stopping Jake the Snake from bashing Miss Elizabeth with a chair, which is what turned the Undertaker babyface. And even the dead man's got his limits. But
listen, sometimes you gotta let the snake. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then that led to this really good segment in the funeral parlor where Jake basically tricks the Undertaker because he's stupid. And slams the casket down on Undertaker's hand. And then DDT's Paul Bearer.
Oh, fuck!
Oh,
my phalanges!
I really wish my fingers weren't in there.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna get necrosis.
And then he like beats the Undertaker with a chair, but the Undertaker drags the casket to follow Jake the Snake, like even after he's beat him with the chair like 20 times. It looks awesome, but it's also funny because like Jake the Snake is like, he has real like malice in his promos and his actions against the backdrop of this very cartoony WWF. Like Jake the Snake is a real villain, you know.
He seems pissed, and that's kind of like it's like how like when Roddy Piper walks out and he's got the most serious look on his face. Like Roddy Piper is one of my favorite entrances in the history of WWF or WWE because he just walks out with the meanest look on his face.
Yeah.
And Jake the Snake really seems like he hates the Undertaker's guts. He does DDT the shit out of Paul Bearer to death. And then Undertaker right here in this scene that you're seeing on the screen right here. One Undertaker with a comically oversized tie on for some reason is looking at the crowd in agony as his hand has been smashed. Unbeknownst to him, there's a snake man behind him with a with a steel chair about to whack the daylight
out. So they head out. This is Jake the Snake's 7th WrestleMania and his last appearance in the company for almost 4 years. And this is the Undertaker.
Really?
Yeah, he bails after WrestleMania 8 to go to WCW. When we get to someday, we'll cover Jake in WCW because it is comically bad, and he has he just gets the worst. He has the worst breaks ever. He's supposed to sign a huge deal to go to WCW as a free agent, and right before he gets there, they change ownership. And Bill Watts rips up his contract and basically offers him a contract for half. But he had
already left.
And he held Vince up to get a release before this match. He's like, I'm not going to go out there if you don't give me a release because I'm getting out of here. And so now he's burned that bridge, and then he's got to go to WCW, and now they're going to pay him half. So classic Jake the Snake hijinks.
Sometimes the snake gets snaked. You know what I mean? Snake eating his tail.
He has his lost weekend wrestling in Mexico and Smoky Mountain Wrestling and these various other places for like 3 or 4 years before WWF brings him back. So
that sucks.
This is the Undertaker's second WrestleMania. He turned babyface in February. Does Jake the Snake or the Undertaker have a mullet here? I couldn't really tell because Jake's got curly hair, so it's tough to tell if it's a mullet or not. And I feel like the Undertaker's in a similar situation.
Jake's is a mullet.
Okay.
I've got a mullet on this one. If you look at this, you've got some business up top. You know what I mean? You got a lot of party in the back. But I do feel like, I mean, there's a chance that he just like is receding and he's like slicked his hair back that way. But I feel like he would have had to have. This is a mullet. I'm qualifying this as a mullet adjudicator. I'm calling this a mullet. Oh, this is a better shot, I think. Oh wait, that's the Undertaker. All right. Give me the Snake. How about that? How about you give me the Snake? What's happening? Man. Why are we not changing? Anyway, I saw a picture of Jake the Snake. I'll get this out of here while it loads because it sucks. It probably wants to play me an ad because I'm not on my premium account because I'm an idiot. But the Snake definitely has a mullet in this one. Undertaker, I'm not sure. I'll have to see.
Okay. Because I'm keeping track. Shawn Michaels also in the official running for mullet of the year on this show.
I think I can tell just in this shot right here, Undertaker not a mullet because you see his front hair is coming down over his eyes here.
You got some bangs.
So I'm not going mullet for Taker, but I am going mullet for Snake for sure.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. Actually, here we go. Sorry. This took so long.
Go ahead.
I'm calling that a mullet, but this is a late stage mullet.
Yeah, we're delving into skullet territory here because there's not much up top.
Yeah, we're this is half a Hulkster right here, but we do have short up top just in that triangle, that weird triangle.
Yeah.
So I'm counting it for sure.
There's a great exchange when they're heading to the ring. For some reason, even though the Undertaker's a babyface now, Gorilla Monsoon still insists that you could tell that the Undertaker slightly smells of formaldehyde when he's coming to the ring. And Bobby Heenan goes,
"Listen, bro.
Oh, I thought that was just your perfume. I know you like getting that cheap perfume." And Gorilla Monsoon goes, "I'll have you taken out of here." Bobby goes, "I'll have you taken out of here. I'm Indiana's favorite Bobby." So
is that a rip on Bobby Knight?
That is, because then he says, and if I had been coaching that team the other night, they wouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
Unlike that other loser or whatever.
That's funny.
So R.I.P. Joey Morella, who is the referee in this match and is Gorilla Monsoon's son. He tragically dies a couple years from now in a car accident in 1994. But he's the
he tragically dies. One. What you cut off on my
end? He was in a car accident in 1994.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and so, but he was a really good referee. I always remember in the early WWF stuff we watch, he always stands out as being a pretty good referee.
All the best referees die, man.
Yeah,
Brian Curtis and this guy, the two good referees to ever live.
The big thing in this match is Jake the Snake
Curtis.
Mark Curtis, yeah. Brian
Hildebrand is his real name. Yeah. I mixed them up.
You know what? Because I'm your pal, I wasn't going to correct you, but I'm glad
appreciate that.
You put that on the record.
I can't be wrong about my goat. No. You know what I mean?
The best thing, the most interesting and probably well-known thing about this match is Jake hits the DDT on Undertaker, and he's able to sit up from it, which is like nobody kicks out of the DDT. And so then Jake realizes, oh, maybe the guy who has the urn that the Undertaker always seems to be siphoning power from, maybe I gotta take care of that guy, and then the DDT will work in this magical realism that is the Undertaker matches. So he goes to the floor to menace Paul Bearer, who's making a great face if you're watching on YouTube right now.
Great face actor, the Paul Bearer. We've talked about this before.
And Undertaker picks Jake up and spikes him on the floor with the tombstone and kills Jake the Snake Roberts because he picks him up, rolls him back in the ring like a sack of shit, and pins him in 6 minutes and 36 seconds. This gets 3/4 of a star, and this was like the most famous thing in an Undertaker match for a while. Was just the tombstone on the floor because nobody gets tombstone on the floor, even on the blue mats.
Which I was going to say is ironic because the actual ring surface is much harder than that blue mat right there.
Yeah.
But
It was-
do you think there's any chance that I bet they had this planned anyway, but Jake the Snake holds up Vince backstage and Vince is like, "Okay, fucker, I'll release you, but guess who is doing the sit up from the DDT?"
Yeah, I think this was maybe because Jake and the Undertaker were friends. They rode together and stuff when they were a heel team. So I bet he was like doing a favor to Undertaker on the way out. Like, I'll let you essentially kick out of my move because I'm leaving the territory, and so it doesn't hurt me, to give that to you, and it helps make the Undertaker look stronger.
Yeah.
It's a nice favor. I don't think this is a Vince call. I think that's, even though Jake the Snake classically a prick, I think even he was like, okay, I'm gonna do a nice thing for this guy on the way out.
And it's good. I mean, everybody probably knew Undertaker was a budding star. I mean, that is a big ginger, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when you look at the picture, definitely not a mullet. We can definitively say here.
Yeah. There's too much in the front. Bangs
too much
wise.
up top, man.
He's got like James Hetfield hair. Classic Hetfield.
Well, we've always talked about looks like Cliff Burton.
Yeah. That's and was probably closer to playing bass for Metallica than Hulk Hogan, or at least they were equally far apart. Like they.
By the way, yeah, because we're all equally far apart.
Yeah.
I heard George Foreman himself say that Hulk Hogan was going to get the grill if he answered the phone.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know if he's just repeating Hulk's story or
I was going to say, yeah, I don't know if that's if love of George Foreman, but I don't know if he's the guy that I'm going to go to for the proper recollection of this story,
Yeah.
We go backstage and Mean Gene is interviewing Bret Hart and Rowdy Piper ahead of their Intercontinental title match. This promo is one of my favorites of all time. It's like the perfect distillation of these two characters. Piper as a babyface, trying to be goofy, but also a little bit big time in Bret the Hitman Hart, where he's like, I love your family. I've known you forever. You were a kid, but then he's sort of, he's taking cheap shots at Bret the whole time. Bret doesn't know how to tie his shoes. Bret wore a diaper till he was, Bret wore a diaper till he was 7. Bret's mom doesn't know how to make a sandwich.
And why you got to go after? Is it Sue?
Helen Hart.
It should be Sue. Why you gotta go after Helen like that, dude? What'd she do?
Making bologna and cheese sandwiches. Of course, there was only one piece of bologna, but I don't care. And then he goes to pinch Bret on the cheek, and Bret kind of no-sells him and is like, "Hey, I'm here about the belt." And Piper's like, "Oh, so you want to actually make this something?" And they have the fight backstage, and Bret goes to pull Piper like he's gonna punch him, and Bret goes, "I would have had you." And Piper lifts his other fist up, and he's got his belt wrapped around his fist, and he goes, "No, you wouldn't."
Dude, I love
great.
I love Roddy Piper, dude. Like in the ring, out of these two guys, I think I like Bret's matches more, but that's not exactly going out on a limb. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Just personality wise, you can't get one up on him. Always rides for his hitters, not afraid of anybody. Yeah. I love Roddy Piper, dude.
Piper's the Intercontinental Champion. He won the belt at the Royal Rumble in 1992, beat the Mountie, who had beaten Bret Hart at a house show a few days before. In kayfabe, Bret Hart was sick. They're like, Bret Hart has 104-degree fever and still went out there and he got beat by the Mountie. So that the Mountie doesn't get too much credibility. He beat a man on the verge of death to win the IC title. But in real life, Bret was at the end of his deal and was considering going to WCW in 92. So they're like, we take the belt off of him, we put it on Piper, and then if Bret comes back, then we have this match we can go to. And of course, Bret obviously comes back, and now we've got babyface versus babyface for the IC title. This is also Bret's first singles match at WrestleMania. The Hart Foundation had broken up in the time in between WrestleMania 7 and 8. And so this is Bret's 7th WrestleMania overall. And this is Piper's 4th WrestleMania overall, where Roddy Piper has previously had a retirement match. He had a retirement match at WrestleMania 3 He's wrestling for the IC title at WrestleMania 8.
That's our guy. And listen, this is what I'm talking about. That Roddy Piper stare when he walks out.
Yeah.
He did this. I mean, I don't know if he did it his whole career. He's done it every time I've ever seen him wrestle. And I just think it's so simple, and it is super effective, and it makes you stoked to watch the fight that's about to happen. You know,
well, and he like flips a switch. It's like he's fun and funny and jovial and all that, and then he's like, oh, now like we got to really fight.
Yeah.
And all of that pretense is gone now, and I'm gonna kick your ass because I'm about winning also. You know, even if I'm trying to have fun doing it. Heenan's got some great lines in here. When they start the match, they're doing a stare down, and Heenan goes, "Two ugly people staring at each other. That's fun." And I think Brett has Piper in a headlock or something, and they're talking about the importance of the Intercontinental Belt. And Heenan goes, "I remember when I was champ, Monsoon." And Gorilla goes, "Champion of what?" And Heenan goes, "The neighborhood." I ran it the whole week. They do some good early babyface back and forth. We're just trying to one up each other. There's some wrestling, gamesmanship, and then it slowly kind of devolves into this fight as each guy sort of crosses the line. Like first, Brett reverses a move and throws Piper out, and Piper gets back in the ring and spits at Bret Hart.
Yeah,
which is a little over the line.
Not the last time somebody's going to be spat upon in this WrestleMania.
And then Brett hits a drop kick and grabs his shoulder and is like, maybe he dislocated his shoulder. And then and Heenan goes, unless he's gold bricking. And right as Monsoon's gonna to tell him that that's not what's happening, he snatches Piper in a small package to like try to get the win. So over time they end up actually getting into this fight, and Piper, while Brett's leaning down, I think Piper tells Brett like, hey, your boot is untied. And Brett looks down and Piper sucker punches him in the eye, and Brett gets busted open. And then Piper starts like attacking this cut with jabs and like just classic Rowdy Piper viciousness in this match. He ends up blocking the sharpshooter at one point. There's a referee bump. I thought the ref bump was really good in this match. Like it's Brett has Piper in a headlock and Piper shoves him off into the referee. Brett hits the referee, who hits the turnbuckle and then falls down. So like I could at least buy the referee would be hurt for a minute because of that.
There's good ref bumps. It seems like every Bret Hart match with a ref bump has a believable ref bump. Like I feel like Bret like didn't play that shit with the like bullshit stupid ref bumps.
Yeah,
but I could be like, you know, editorializing in my own head, but I feel like we've talked about a lot of Bret Hart matches that had ref bumps, and I feel like every time we kind of compliment the ref bump.
Yeah. That's well, I mean, Brett really thought about these matches, and this is like a huge sort of proving point for him right now. He's already had one classic with Kurt Hennig at SummerSlam 91 to win the IC title for the first time, but like Brett wants to be the guy, and so you have to prove you can have these matches. You know, Brett's not 6'10". He's not going to be able to get to the top by being the big body guy. So he's got to prove through his work that he deserves to be the champion. So I think he took all of this stuff really seriously. While the ref is out, Piper goes out to get the bell. And I'm imagining he's backstage talking with Savage, and Savage is like, you know, if you want to win the title, what I did one time with Ricky Steamboat, I fucking took the bell and I smashed the shit out of his throat with it.
I put that shit right on his larynx.
And listen, brother,
I went to Fuddruckers.
I might have some regrets, brother, but I'll tell you this: worked then, it work now. And so,
listen, if you guys haven't heard us talk about Macho Man Randy Savage, almost making the dragon mute. Check out that episode of our podcast. What were we talking about that day? What was it?
That was Savage versus Steamboat from WrestleMania 3.
Oh, it's just a full
angle.
Okay, yeah. Check out that episode. Very funny.
Piper gets the bell, but of course he is conflicted. And in one of his all-time great calls, Bobby Heenan goes, use it, waffle him with it. you know the old saying, what the hell, use the bell. And he goes, give it to me, I'll do it. So Piper decides not to use the bell and slaps
And I
on
love that Heenan's like shitting on these guys until one of them is ready to do something bad.
Yeah, super dastardly. Then he's like, this guy I can relate to.
This is my guy. Yeah, I'll help this guy do this thing.
A guy who's fighting fair, I've got nothing to say to him. But if he wants to use the bell, suddenly I've got a lot of advice. Piper slaps on the sleeper, and then Brett, to counter it, walks up the ropes, kicks off, and then flips over, pins Rowdy Piper in a really famous spot that he uses throughout his career. He picks up the win, 13 minutes, 51 seconds. This gets 3.5 stars. And afterwards, Piper's pretends for a minute that he's going to turn heel and maybe double cross Brett. And then he picks him up and puts the belt on him. This is I believe the first pinfall loss for Piper, at least in a bunch of years. Like he never even jobbed for Hogan. Like it was always a screw job finish with Hogan. And so he put Brett over, like actually put him over here.
That's pretty cool. And I'm going to say, I know we got a lot of show left. This might have been my favorite match of the show. I really liked this match.
This is a really great match. The other story is, of course, at this time, WWF has a no blood policy. Unless you are doing a physical thing, something happens. If somebody gets busted open hard way,
there could be like incidental blood.
Yeah, what are you going to do? If somebody gets busted hard way, you can't do anything about it, but you're not allowed to blade. And so Brett and Piper decide they need blood for this match. And so Brett's like, oh, I can blade and I can make it look like an accident. And so they work out the punch spot. And that is a blade, but it's over his eye, kind of the eyebrow where you don't normally have blood. And so Brett and Piper get away with it. There is more blood on this show. Spoiler alert, somebody else doesn't get away with it. So
quite a bit of blood in that other one.
quite a bit of blood. And
well, there's quite a bit of blood in this one too.
Yeah, but the blood in the other one is in quite a auspicious spot for it to be hard way. So we pitch to Heenan, who is doing a remote with Lex Luger, who does not look like a human being. In this promo, he looks insane in his shirt. That shirt does not fit Lex Luger.
Well, listen, that room does not fit Lex Luger. Yeah. Lex Luger is humongous in this thing, and it's very funny that they're trying to pretend this was actually live. It is very clearly not live, but Lex Luger says during the thing, it's cool, it's so amazing that you can have me for the first time live. And I'm like, I don't think
so. So he left WCW after February of 1992, but he had a part of his contract he could not wrestle for like another 6 months or something. I can't remember the exact thing. So he's supposed to go to the WBF, the World Bodybuilding Federation, to run out the rest of his wrestling contract. And the WBF is also owned by Vince. But Luger gets in a motorcycle accident in July of 92. I don't think he ever appears for the WBF because by the time he's able to come back, they've already folded. So, and at that point, his contract with WCW had ran out and he could just be a wrestler.
Well, based on what I'm seeing here, he looks like he was practicing. He's gigantic. He is huge. He's ripped. He is the total package, so they say. Like his necklace doesn't even hang down.
Like it's like a choker.
That necklace would probably reach my nipples, and it's a choker on Lex Luger.
I mean, Luger's always been jacked, but like he's got the arm veins, the like I'm a super jacked guy.
Right, he's just got the striations and he's got peaks and valleys and crevasses galore.
But
by the way, this is a mullet.
Oh yeah, I got to put him on the list. I don't think that
I doubt he's gonna win
Luger.
because like I know Brutus the Barber Beefcake's on this show. He's got quite a mullet on him.
Yep.
But this does count as a mullet.
Couple contenders for the mullet championship up next. Our fourth match is the Nasty Boys, the Mountie, and the Repo Man versus the Big Boss Man, Virgil, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and and Sergeant Slaughter. And so I'm going to go ahead and put both Knobs and Sags in the mullet rankings for today.
Oh yeah, these are dirty. These are the nasty boys. These are dirty mullets. These are like gross guy mullets. This is what, when you think of like, because there was a time like in the '90s mullets were cool, and then now mullets are kind of back. But like there was a time in like the like mid 2000s to 2015s that having a mullet is the grossest thing that you could have in the. You could have an open wound. I'd rather you have that than a mullet, right?
Yeah.
And these are the gross mullets we associated all mullets with.
Yeah, these are biker bar mullets.
These are dirtbag mullets if I've ever seen a dirtbag mullet.
They have Ray Combs, who is the host of Family Feud at the time, come out and do a bit with the heel teams where he's surveyed 100 people in the crowd for their opinion of the heel team. Some of the highlights of that is the Mountie is the kind of man who does not know the meaning of the word fear, but that's okay. He doesn't know the meaning of a lot of words. Got his ass. Yeah. You want to say something about the babyface team?
I just want to say we got Virgil with the Rip Hamilton mask on.
Yeah.
We love you, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. We got the police officer, Big Boss Man in the background. But I just wanted to show him. But yes, do you have any more of these roast jokes? There was one. What was it? The Repo Man. Let me see if I can do it off the top of my head. Repo Man, survey says you can't accuse him of being two-faced because if he was, ain't no way he wouldn't be wearing the other one.
Yeah, that's essentially it. Yeah. The Nasty Boys, their success in the WWF can only be attributed to one word. That word is lucky. Got their ass. And that is the last straw. The Nasty Boys try to attack Ray Combs, and he gets out of the ring just in time. This match appeared to be going for the Clothesline Championship of the World. There are about 8,000 clotheslines in this match. In the end, wouldn't you know it, the Jerry Sags accidentally hits Brian Knobbs with Virgil's protective mask, and Virgil pins Knobbs in 6 minutes and 33 seconds. This got a half a star from Dave Meltzer. Bret Hart and Rowdy Piper got 3.5 stars. I think it probably should be a little bit higher. I think that's a 4-star match, but that's fine. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, that's
the real question. I would
go 4-2.
Real question here is, you've got to go on a cross-country trip. Are you jumping in the car with the Nasty Boys, the Mountie, and the Repo Man, or Big Boss Man Virgil, Hacksaw Duggan, and the Sergeant Slaughter?
Dude, it's the baby faces. Just because I get to hang out with Ray Traylor and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I don't give a fuck about the other two guys.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like me and Hacksaw would be homeboys.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's a cool guy. I feel like Knobs and Sags are surly. I don't really want to hang out with them. I'd hang out with the Repo Man.
I don't want to cast aspersions on the heel team, but I think that car stinks more.
It does.
The Nasty Boys stink. That's why they're the Nasty Boys.
They're called
not to put too fine a point on it. However,
are you going with the babyface team too?
Yeah, even though Sergeant Slaughter has recently returned from being an Iraqi sympathizer, which is quite a babyface turnaround.
But I feel like me and Hacksaw could talk him off that ledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's you got to talk him through.
Two true blue American patriots sitting with him. You know,
I bet that Hacksaw would go to the place that sells the exotic beef jerky, and he'd try some strange beef jerky with you. That'd be fun.
He would just be so affable the whole time. Like, I feel like he's making friends everywhere we go. You know?
Yeah. We next go backstage with Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect. There was Sean Mooney, and so basically the storyline here is that Ric Flair is telling Randy Savage that he dated Miss Elizabeth first. That basically Savage has his his cast-offs, as his wife. And Flair published a bunch of pictures in WWF magazine that were of him and Liz at like a picnic, and then overlooking a bridge, and then like sitting on a couch, all these various things, and that they've got a pinup of Liz that they're going to reveal in the event that Ric Flair loses this match. That's the blackmail that Flair is talking about in this match heading into it.
Which means Ric Flair's going to win this match.
You mean Randy Savage?
Yeah,
because if Flair loses, if Flair,
Randy Savage does win this match. Yeah. Never mind.
I thought Flair's promo here was great. Flair's hair might have never looked better than it did at WrestleMania 8. It's like, it's bright lights, it's big cities, it's WrestleMania, baby. Because bright lights, big city, Indianapolis, Indiana, one of the biggest towns Flair's ever played, from being NWA champion. So I also think this is one of the reasons that this arrangement for the WrestleMania main events makes much more sense, because like you couldn't get this level of storyline going with Flair and Hogan. Like Hogan exists without like a family or without a wife or without any of these things. There's not a lot for Flair to dig into other than, I guess, who's the real world champion. But that's a very NWA kind of storyline. And also this is a very NWA storyline. Like this is Mr. I Stole Your Girl, Ric Flair talking shit about the babyface and the babyface's wife, you know, and Savage is like the perfect guy to play that up against.
Oh yeah, he's a hothead and he rides for his hitters. That's just how it works.
And so the Savage is so mad that Okerlund can't even get an interview with him. The Macho Man is refusing to do press ahead of this match. So this is Flair's first WrestleMania, obviously, since he just came into the company. This is Savage's 7th WrestleMania, and by next year, weirdly, he is on the commentary team for WrestleMania 9. He's not even an active performer.
Is he a healthy scratch or is he hurt?
No, they were just going in a younger direction, in theory. You know, we've watched WrestleMania 9. We know who leaves WrestleMania 9 with the WWF title. But they're like, we're trying to pivot to new wrestlers.
We'll get rid of Randy Savage and we'll add Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah. This is also indicative of the era. The fact that there's no video recap of this storyline is crazy. They would never not do that today. Like they'd have a 10-minute video package of Flair insinuating that him and Liz used to paint the town red together, and all the increasing craziness of Randy Savage as he learns about this, you know. A simpler time. So Savage straight up runs to the ring because he's got no time for Flair. He dominates.
Very funny to run to pomp and circumstance, by the way. It's like these things do not match up very well.
And with a cowboy hat on, a gold and black cowboy hat, just run into the ring. Savage dominates the match early. He gets cut off because he gets backdropped straight over the top rope, which is an awesome bump. Hey, Flair's a square, burn. Got his ass.
That is a good burn, and there's the satisfaction on this guy's face.
Yeah.
And I also want to let's see if I can get the screenshot, because you are right. I wrote down the timestamp of Savage going over the top. There he is.
Yeah, he's like straight up vertical.
Like completely vertical, and he just dumps over the side. Like he does not land on the apron. No. He lets go of that rope and goes straight to there's a blue mat. We know that, but he goes straight to the floor.
He doesn't post at all. It's insane.
No.
It's a really good bump. And so Flair's in charge for a while. Finally Savage takes back over, and then this is the first time I noticed this today. They do a really admirable job of trying to make it look like Flair gets busted open hard way, because Savage comes off the top with the double axe to the floor, and Flair propels his head into the barricade, like face first, so that he can be like, no, it was the barricade. But then Flair comes up and he's bleeding from the middle of his forehead, just like he did in every NWA championship match in the 80s. So
Yeah.
a little tough to believe Rick on that one.
Yeah.
It's got
Vince is in the back going, son of a bitch.
Twice in one day. So Flair got fined big time for this. Apparently it's like 50 grand that to make an example that even Flair can't get away with this. So Savage does hit the big elbow, but gets pulled out of the ring by Mr. Perfect in what should clearly be a disqualification. But the ref's like, well, it's the main event. It's part of the double main event. I can't just DQ somebody out of this thing.
They kept doing disqualifiable shit.
Yeah. What is this? The Natural Disasters versus Money Incorporated? So weirdly, Savage suddenly decides to do a running start and tries to hit a switch kick on Ric Flair and just straight up blows his knee out. And that becomes what looks like he tore his ACL. Maybe he was injured coming into it, and the Poly Market was going live, and so he had to go into the match anyway, even though he was injured. He was spotted a few days before at the Pain Management Center. And Flair takes over on the knee on Savage for a while.
Listen, we know Randy's got knee problems. He's always got knee problems.
Mm-hmm.
This is before he jumps off the cage, but I'm sure he's jumped off a cage or two in his life before this. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's like, it's weird. There's like two halves to this match, because I remember Savage, they're working over Savage's knee, and I was like, doesn't that come pretty early in this match? But it's towards the later half. So Flair takes over, of course, for a while, and then Liz comes running out. Now, did you see who was among the cavalcade of people that were trying to get Miss Elizabeth backstage once she comes out?
No.
We're looking at a young Shane McMahon.
Oh, shit, really?
I believe a freshly out of college Shane McMahon, who is one of the officials trying to get Liz to go backstage. In fact, he grabbed Savage like at the end of this match to kind of signal like, okay, we're done. You got to do your hero pose in the middle of the ring, but we'll get to that.
I can't believe I missed my guy.
Savage gets a small package on Flair that almost gets the win. Would have got the win if this were an NWA title match, but then Bobby Heenan goes, "You're not going to beat him with something like that." With a small package. Flair has Savage by the leg at the end of this match. He goes to spin Savage. Savage blocks him, hits a punch, and then hits Flair with a schoolboy handful of tights. Savage, in fact, does beat him that way and wins the World Heavyweight title 18 minutes and 4 seconds. There's your young Shane McMahon on the left there.
There's our guy. But listen, Flair was gonna cheat. Flair did cheat. He hit him with freaking brass knucks. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, and Mr. Perfect did in fact hit. It was not a switch kick, everybody. That was a humor about a recent current event that has happened. Mr. Perfect hits Savage in the knee with a chair. And that's also them just cheating right in front of the referee.
Oh yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's the thing. We can't, but that's what the heels do. You know, that's what they're gonna cheat, and if they get cheated, they're gonna call cheat, which what these fucking assholes do, and that's fine. That's how it works.
Yep. So after the match, Flair is like losing his mind, and Liz is standing in front of Savage, and so Flair kisses Liz, and then Liz starts like hitting him and slapping him, and then Savage comes over the top onto Flair, diving on him, hitting him with punches, and then Flair and Perfect beat Savage up for a while before they eventually powder out, and then Savage stands in the ring with Liz and celebrates as the new WWF champion.
Yeah, and the interesting thing was Savage goes and starts beating the shit out of Flair after he kisses Elizabeth. He is kiss stealing, by the way.
Yeah.
Lives up to his name. But Savage goes in and starts beating the shit out of Flair. The whole team comes in and tackles Savage to the ground.
Yeah.
and literally holds Savage down while Ric Flair gets on top of him and beats the dog shit out of him.
Yep. That's really funny.
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to see if I can find an angle of it, but there's a thing where you see literally, it's during this part. This guy is literally holding Randy Savage's arm, and when Flair comes in to punch him, he lays down still holding Savage's arm and lets Flair just beat him up. And my cat wants me to throw his ball for him. Hold on. Oh wait, he left it too far away from me, so I'm not going to do it.
Like, no, I'm trying to help, and it's just him impeding Randy Savage's movement at every turn.
You're letting him fuck me up.
Yeah, if you'll just let me stand up, goddamn it.
Yeah, he's beating the shit out of me, dude.
Right in front of my wife, bro.
He kissed my wife, bro.
Well, Tony Garea, you would never stand for this. Tony Garea is one of the guys out there.
Hell yeah.
Savage wins 18 minutes 4 seconds, 4.25 stars for this match. This match is really good, and I think like this is the first big Ric Flair versus Randy Savage match ever. And it's clear that these guys have incredible chemistry, even though Flair later said that Savage wasn't that good of a worker, because Ric Flair at different points in his career just shot the stray bullet at anybody that he could. Every time he
talked weird too.
Yeah, one week he's like, I love Hulk Hogan, he's my brother. The next week he's like, I can't believe how many times I had to lose to him in WCW. It's just from Rick, week to week.
Neither can I.
Neither can we. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So we go backstage, and Mr. Perfect starts talking about the tights. That Savage was lucky he was pulling the tights. We're out here having a wrestling match, and Savage is a cheater, and he knows he's a cheater. And then Bobby, he sees Heenan coming, and he goes, Bobby, come in here, tell him about the tights. And Heenan's out of breath, comes running, and he goes, I just got down here from the booth. Like he had to run in
because it's a travesty what has just happened. He has to be there with his guy. Screw a contract.
Flair starts cutting this promo, and he goes, what we have to hear tonight is a man who's going to be going around town claiming to be the real world champion and claiming to have the love of a Jezebel. He's like, what we're gonna do is we're gonna regroup. We're gonna come back stronger than ever. We got Bobby, we got Mr. Perfect, we got the Nature Boy, we got the nucleus. It's awesome.
I think he said Bobby's the brains, the Mr. Perfect's the money.
Yeah, or
because he said he said the brains, the money, and the nucleus.
Yeah.
And Bobby's got to be the brains. So I think that makes Mr. Perfect the money. Is Mr. Perfect's character supposed to be rich?
No, he's the executive director of for Ric Flair, but I don't think it's like he was the big money backer. It's just, Flair only knows 3 things.
He's just letting her fly.
Oh, yeah. Who's the wrestler? Fly, who's the money? Who's the brains?
I steal the kisses. He sets the jets.
Yeah, he wheels the deals. That's
wheels the
those are the things. Those are the things I know. I thought this promo was awesome, and then not to be outdone, we go to Mean Gene with Randy Savage, who's being held up by Miss Elizabeth, and he goes, "Some might say, Macho Man, that you cheated to win this title because Gene Okerlund is nothing if not a consummate journalist." And Savage
he's
goes,
like Ariel Helwani.
Yeah, he's got to ask the tough questions. He goes, do I care? Do I even care? I don't care. It's like, I just got a piece of you, Flair.
The man kissed my wife.
Goes, I got a piece of you, Flair. Just a piece. You haven't even been beaten up properly, which is a great line.
Yeah, it was good.
And then he goes,
I wrote down on this.
Then Savage does the thing that he always does where he kind of sings songs. One of his reactions. He goes, then you went out there and you kissed Miss Elizabeth, and that made me madder than I thought I could be than I was when I was on my way to the ring.
It sounded like an Eminem, like early Eminem line.
Yeah.
But I wrote down that I think this was an all-time Randy Savage promo. Like he's so mad, and he's doing the get loud then get quiet thing. He's getting weird. Mean Gene at one point asks Miss Elizabeth a question, and Macho Man goes, hold on, and then just hands her the belt and goes, this is yours. kick rocks, and she fucking leaves. He doesn't say kick rocks, but he's like, no, get out of here, and she leaves, and then he finishes his promo.
Yeah, no, he goes, that's for her, and this, and he's got his fist, and he goes, this is for you, Flair. Like it's never gonna be over. And then he rips his shirt open. Like it's insane. It's an
and
awesome...
his shirt has Ric Flair's blood on it.
Yeah, it's one of the best Macho Man promos. It's like peak. This dude's on a complete adrenaline high because he just came out of the ring, and now he's cutting this promo on a guy that he's got like a legitimate hatred for in the storyline. Like this dude did kiss his wife. So
I think that guy might have bladed.
Who is to say? Who among us? But yeah, look at Randy Savage's eyes, dude.
Look at that picture. He is so mad, and Randy Savage always got crazy eyes, but this is an even more angry than normal Randy Savage. I think this is like peak Randy. I loved this so much, and the match was good. To me, I understand why this one got more. I think I liked Hart versus Piper a little bit more myself, but in terms of just a straight up match, but you can't go wrong with Randy Savage versus goddamn Ric Flair. So this one was great.
Yeah. Then they like weird. Seems like they should have done this before, but they weirdly jump to a recap of like the build up to WrestleMania 8, but for the Hogan versus Sid match only. Like they didn't put any legwork into the Savage versus Flair match, which arguably has the better story. But the first thing they did was they announced Hogan was going to be the number one contender to face Flair at WrestleMania 8. That's why they got everybody up on the dais. It's like Flair and Hogan and Savage and Sid and everybody. It's like what a signing day for the NCAA. Everybody's wondering who's committing to what. And Tony is like, Hogan's the number one contender, and Sid freaks out and he calls Jack Tunney bogus like 3 times in a row, which is really funny. And then he says, maybe...
here, hold on, I got a screenshot of good face acting by Sid.
Hogan, he says, maybe it's because I'm not as big a Hollywood star as Hulk Hogan, which is the biggest lie Sid Vicious ever told, was considering Hogan a big movie star.
But in his defense, he is a bigger movie star than Sid Udy.
That's true. Yeah, but he's I don't know that Mr. Nanny or Suburban Commando were breaking the box office at that point.
Listen, but there's levels to this, you know
he's in movies. That's true.
This, by the way, Sid mullet.
Yeah, for sure. And that tracksuit or windbreaker or whatever is sick. I would totally wear that.
Pretty sick tracksuit. I completely agree. I miss tracksuits. I can't. Oh my god, that's an angry Sid too. I was trying to see if there's like a body shot, a full body shot of the tracksuit. Tracksuit. I wish tracksuits were cool. Only specific types of cool guys can wear tracksuits now. It's like guys that are very specifically cool and have their own style that's outside of the public lexicon style. But like, I cannot wear a tracksuit, and I really wish I could wear a tracksuit.
Yeah, I feel like 90s Mafia guys kind of ruined it for everybody.
Dude, my dad
overexposure of tracksuits.
That's probably true. Italians, they fuck everything up. But that's the slogan. My dad rocked the shit out of a tracksuit in the 90s. When the windbreaker suit, dude, with some big 5 like LA gears. Oh god damn.
Yeah, that's what Rick bought with all the money he saved by not having the AC on.
Yeah.
A little inside joke for our listeners, but that's it.
Yeah, Dusty saw me struggle at stand up last night.
I think he did good. So, they do the classic angle where Hogan and Sid, even though they are at odds, they are baby faces and are bound by the babyface code to be a tag team. And so on Saturday night's main event, it's Sid and Hogan versus Flair and The Undertaker, and Hogan is struggling to get the tag to Sid. He's crawling through the desert to get over to Sid.
And it was the way that they announced it was kind of funny. He was like, because Sid was so mad at Hulk after that signing or after the announcement. And then they're like, Sid ultimately apologized to the Hulkster and ended up being in a tag team with him.
Yep.
And then I was like, I just started laughing because I'm like, that's just how it all works. You got to kiss the ring eventually. And then it shows that he
That's
kinda screwed him over in this whole
Hogan.
thing.
Oh, you know what? Great background acting by Hogan here. He looks truly betrayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Come on, brother.
it's the goddamn Undertaker, brother.
Be mad at Tunney. It's not my fault.
Yeah. If you look at the track record of box office, it does make more sense. Where are you going? So Sid double crosses Hogan and doesn't tag him and turns heel. And then Brutus Beefcake's like, come on, brother, my face is broken. I can't be his partner, or else I would, because I have no problem kissing the ring of the Hulkster. It bought an addition to my house.
Listen, I'm putting Brutus. I don't think there's a better mullet maybe in the history of the world than Brutus the Barf the Barber Beefcake's mullet here. And Sid's screaming face is pretty damn good here.
Yeah.
I did, by the way, I tried to look up some pictures and I can't show one of them on this because this is a children's program, obviously, but I looked up his injury because later on, go to the what happens after this, because after this we have a very interesting thing that Sid says to Brutus Beefcake.
Yeah, so Sid then goes on the barbershop, I guess, to explain himself. But he essentially just threatens Brutus the Barber Beefcake and tells him that he's going to rearrange his face, which is terrifying. And then he smashes up the barbershop. And I don't think that this is on purpose, but while he's destroying the barbershop, shaving cream somehow lands on Sid's face, and he's still in character just screaming about how much he hates Hulk Hogan and how he's going to kill him and all this stuff. And somehow, even with shaving cream on him, it makes Sid so much scarier that like he truly seems unhinged. And then there's just a whole montage of him just destroying a bunch of jobbers, which is awesome.
Sid's a scary man, dude. And Sid is one of my favorites from this era. This is a side x-ray of Brutus the Barber Beefcake's face.
Yeah.
And all the white right here is metal.
Yeah. That's I think
this is posted by Brutus Beefcake, by the way. Like he posted it earlier in this thread. If you guys want to look it up, it was on October 12th, 2014. I'm not going to show the other picture on the thing. I don't want to make people see that, but like, you can't tell what part of the head you're looking at in the picture that he posted earlier in this thread to somebody, and somebody was like, "Is this the back of your head?" And he's like, "It's front skull, brother." He didn't say brother, but he's like front skull. You can't see a discernible facial feature in this picture that he posts.
No, there's a really good Dark Side of the Ring episode that I'd recommend about Brutus Beefcake and his injury. Like, it's one of those things that until I was a legitimate adult, probably in my 30s, that I truly understood what happened to him and how terrible and devastating this injury was. Because it doesn't sound crazy when you just hear like, oh, a girl was trying to parasail and she didn't get up high enough and hit him in the face with her knees. But it's like she was going like 80 miles an hour or something. And
apparently, according to Brutus, it was 40 miles an hour, which is still fast as shit. Still very fast.
Destroyed his face.
It's crazy that he had a face after this and that he still wrestled. Like, he looks. I don't know if he looks exactly the same. He looks very similar to like how he used to look. It's crazy in 1992 that they were able to do such a good reconstruction of his face.
Well, that was 1990. He gets hurt in 90.
Yeah.
And he disappears for a while and then he comes back to do the barbershop. But yeah, like Sid menacing Beefcake is good here. Sid is at his utmost effectiveness when he can just destroy a bunch of jobbers, because all of Sid's moves look devastating against guys that have like zero imposing features. You know, if it were just Sid versus jobbers, he'd be the highest moneymaker in the history of pro wrestling.
Yeah, I love Sid, man.
Yeah,
I remember I genuinely remember the first time you showed me Psycho Sid, and it was just him fucking up a bunch of promos, and it was very funny because you were like, there's a psychopath guy, this huge guy named Sid, and it was very funny when every time he tried to talk, and it's true, it was. But I also love him as a wrestler. Like I think he looks really good. He does really good facial emotion. His promos are like, obviously a lot of them are bad, but like I could show you some guys that have worse promos in this era. He's very entertaining in a lot of them, you know?
Yeah, we get a classic Sid promo and a classic Sid line later on that I really liked.
Yeah. He's got one that I really like too. It's probably the same line, so we'll see.
Match number 6, Tatanka versus Rick Martel. They have some Native Americans in the ring doing like some music before Rick the Model Martel comes out, which is really weird to have them in the ring, not for Tatanka, since that's their guy. They say that this is from his actual tribe, which I have no evidence to the contrary. I think we did look it up before. Tatanka is an actual Native American.
A Native American, yes. Surprisingly.
Rick Martel's big button that says "Yes, I am a model" always makes me laugh.
It is funny, yes.
We've talked about Rick Martel before, how entertaining he is. This match, unfortunately, not that entertaining. Tatanka wins with a crossbody kind of out of nowhere in 4 minutes and 33 seconds to very little crowd reaction.
Dude, the crowd did not give a fuck about this match, and neither did Andrew. And that's the thing. Like, I don't really care. The match itself, like the moves that I like looked up from my phone and saw occasionally, it's not like these guys don't know how to wrestle. You know, I just didn't care at all about this match.
This got 1.25 stars. The best part of this match was any time that Martel hit a move, he would take his hands and just kind of go there towards Tatanka, like just dismissing him in a very French Canadian way. Sean Mooney's backstage with Money Incorporated. Ted DiBiase's hair is as perfect as I've ever seen the $1 Million Man's hair. I don't know if he got some new product. I don't know if he got a blowout before WrestleMania. Whatever Ted was doing on that day, as a man with no hair, I was very envious of $1 Million Man's hair. Look at that, dude.
Well, and I got to tell you, Dusty, this counts as a mullet.
Yeah, but even still, that's a rich man's mullet. That's not a nasty. Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, Jimmy Hart's got a Southern boy half nasty mullet, not a full nasty mullet, but a half nasty.
Yeah.
And this is a rich man's mullet if I've ever seen one. But yes, it does look good. He is flowing, and he's always got the immaculate beard, but not too immaculate. It's not like his beard is lined up. It's clean. It's done well. But it doesn't have the straight lines that a lot of guys are doing nowadays. Like they're in Disturbed, you know. This is a man's beard that is well kempt, you know.
Yeah,
just a classy guy, the $1 Million Man.
They are taking on the Natural Disasters, your guys. They do get a promo before, and I will say the babyfaces yelled their yells in this promo. It's not really about anything, but the Natural Disasters, just two big fun-loving guys now. They've turned babyface. They hate Jimmy Hart. This
is John Tenta and Fred Ottman being John Tenta and Fred Ottman. That's their names, right?
Yep, the most John Tenta and Fred Ottman you can be.
God, okay. Would you rather hang out with John Tenta and Fred Ottman, or fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Big Boss Man?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one for me.
That is a tough one. I've heard John Tenta was like an incredibly nice dude, like one of the all-time bests.
Spent a lot of time in Japan. He's probably got really good stories.
Yeah, he's the Fred Ottman is related to Dusty Rhodes, so I'm sure he's got a lot of good stories. But Bubba, Boss Man was broken in by Dusty Rhodes, so he's probably got a lot of good stories.
I think I'm still doing the other guys.
You're going Boss Man and Hacksaw?
I think I'm going Boss Man and Hacksaw, but it's like surprisingly close considering where they are on the card.
Yeah, I say I'm probably with you. I think it's Boss Man and Hacksaw still. But I do love the Natural Disasters as people, as a team. Yeah. If you'd believe it, this match is not very good.
That's probably also a smelly car, by the way. Natural Disasters. Nice guy, smelly car, you know?
This was supposed to be the Legion of Doom, which makes so much more sense. But Hawk had been suspended for some extracurricular activities that Hawk got up to these days. So that's why
they allowed him. They allowed him to go on the show and make them money, but they did not allow.
You don't get to.
At least they let the get. You don't get the what?
You don't get the payoff of being in the match.
But at least they allowed them to stay relevant. I mean, the LOD was going to stay relevant no matter what, but at least they allowed them to come in and do some promo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There is a very tiny sign for the natural disasters that a woman is holding up that I do not believe is a real sign. I think she was handed this sign because I
is
doubt...
that the one that Heenan makes fun of?
Yeah, I can't remember what he says.
He said, I think I wrote it down. It says something to the effect of, he goes, if she was at home doing the dishes, she wouldn't have time to make stupid cards like that, bimbo.
Well, because it's the smallest. Why even take the time? No one's going to be able to see this. It's like this big, and it just says natural disasters rule. And so unless she's just a fan of tornadoes, maybe. This entire match is basically, oh man, the baby faces are really big and they are hard to move. Which is why the natural disasters probably should have never been turned babyface. They're such a better heel team because it's really hard to get sympathy on two giant dudes that are taking on the much smaller heel tag team.
Unless you pump them up like they're just real nice guys. They're like non-violent nice guys who happen to be in wrestling because that's the only way they can make money. You know what I mean?
Giants. Yeah. The IRS is about to be butt splashed by Earthquake when Jimmy Hart, who is wearing his WrestleMania airbrushed jacket that has all of his teams listed on it, says WrestleMania 8. It's got like Nasty Boys, Mountie, $1 Million Man, IRS on the whole jacket, so he doesn't have to change jackets, which is really funny.
It's a sick jacket. I'm trying to get all the screenshots I'm getting of it are in motion and it's blurry, but it's a pretty sick jacket. And listen, I do like myself a Jimmy Hart. Interesting thing for me, there you can see it off in the distance there, the colors. It looks cool. Interesting thing for me, this is Money Incorporated, correct?
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever met a rich man who liked the IRS. They're usually at odds with each other. You know what I mean?
Well, I believe because IRS is a crooked tax lawyer that he's loopholing for the $1 Million Man. They're finding shell companies together to hoard all of the Money Incorporated's money.
That makes perfect sense then.
If it were now,
I didn't understand he wasn't like a federal agent. You know what I mean?
If it were now, they would be involved in a crypto rug pool,
pump and dump
together. Yeah.
Yo, dude, you know how quickly they would have done a fucking $1 Million Man coin?
$1 Million
shit!
Man.
I'm surprised he hasn't. I need to hit him up, dude.
$1 Million Man.
I'm down for a rug pool. Yeah.
Well, I believe he got in trouble because him and his son did do some. I think they took money from like a church organization. So I think $1 Million Man might be. He's on a different grift, but he's definitely on a grift for sure.
Hey Ted, have you ever heard of a pump and dump?
Yeah.
Come here.
IRS is about to get butt splashed. Jimmy Hart grabs him, and then the heels just bail, and the natural disasters win by count out in 8 minutes and 38 seconds. This got -2 stars from the Wrestling Observer.
God damn it.
Yeah. Dude, Tatanka versus Rick Martel, that's only 4 minutes and 33 seconds, got 1.25 stars. So they're even above the tag title match.
Listen, sometimes you can be too fat for a good wrestling match. You know what I mean?
They go backstage with Brutus the Barber Beefcake, who is just like the ultimate yes man for Hulk Hogan. He's like, Hulk Hogan's great. He's the best. He's never done anything wrong. I am loyal to the Hulkster. I don't want it to be even insinuated that I'm not 100% in Hogan's corner because I know where my money's coming from, and Hulkamania is going to live forever. There's zero about Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Dude, we talk about riding for your hitters a lot in this series, in this show, because that's a big thing in wrestling. Very few people. I mean, Brutus Beefcake rides for Hulk Hogan. Like his whole career, even before the WWF, he was riding for Hulk Hogan. So like that, you know how much like I know Ed Leslie ended up like working at a toll booth for some reason.
Yep.
So like, how much earlier would he have been at that toll booth if it were not for Terry Bollea?
He's
You know
not
what I
getting
mean?
5 years of WCW money if he doesn't cut
No.
this promo for
Yeah.
WrestleMania 8. They go back after Brutus Beefcake goes, Hulkamania will live forever. And then Gorilla Monsoon is like, that's right, Brutus. And then Bobby Heenan goes, big deal. Brutus is your friend. I'd rather have no friends than Brutus as my friend. Match number 8, we get my Uncle Skinner versus Hammer Pants Owen Hart. This Owen Hart backflips into the ring and immediately gets a face full of chaw from Skinner, who just spits right in his face and then hits his finisher, which is the reverse DDT. Owen kicks out. Owen hits a roll up and pins Skinner in 1 minute and 36 seconds. This match was a dud rating. Why even have this match? What can you do in a minute?
If you're wondering,
in 36
ahead,
seconds.
sorry.
You can't do anything in 1 minute and 36 seconds.
And if you're wondering, that is the third person to be spat upon in this
Yes.
WrestleMania, because Macho Man did spit on Ric Flair.
That's true.
I was just wondering how Skinner does the chew thing, like, because I doubt he's actually chewing. He could be, but like, I've been a chewman in my life. That's not necessarily how, like, it doesn't really look like that when if even if you let it go down your chin like that.
Right.
I know I'm getting gross here, so I'm wondering what he, like, if he just had like a bunch of like chocolates or like what was going on, how he gimmicks that.
Yeah,
because he has it dripping out of his mouth this whole match. This was the saddest Owen Hart match I've ever seen. Just because it was like, what are they calling him? The Rocket.
Yeah, this is like, he's in a tag team called High Energy where he has matching hammer pants with Coco Beware at this time.
God damn.
And
what
so
they did to
like
my boy.
This is like
Those pants.
the low point for Owen before he starts the feud with Brett. Like, he needs that feud with Brett that's like a year away from even starting. He's just here, and this is also the WrestleMania philosophy that they used to have. Like, WrestleMania was the biggest payday of the year for everybody. Everybody looked forward to WrestleMania. That's when you were going to get your big money for the year. So they tried to put as many people on the card as possible. That's why you get that 8-man tag from earlier. That's why you get a 4-minute match with Tatanka. That's why you get this match. It's just like, you get out there and do something. But yeah, this is criminally underusing Owen Hart.
And it just seems like the company never really believed in Owen unless he was tied to Brett, because like he had the run with Brett. He had the Slammy situation, which is very funny,
which is very good.
But you've got this guy, the Rocket, which obviously stinks, and you've got the Blue Blazer, which, I mean, has some comedic element to it that, you know, I can appreciate at certain times. But like, this is I'm a true believer in Owen Hart. Like, this shows you, this screenshot that's on the screen right now shows you that Owen Hart is not a very tall guy. He doesn't look very big. Like, I don't know how big of a fucker Skinner is, but I don't think Skinner's a monster, right?
No, I think Owen's like, he might be billed at 5'10", so he might be 5'9".
So he's probably like 5'8", 5'7", or something like that. And so maybe that's why he's a short guy, but he's like not a small guy, and like he's really athletic. He wrestles well. He knows the psychology well. He acts well. He acts like a chicken shit really well, and like as a babyface, really, like, the trajectory of the Owen Hart career, and I understand early in the career sometimes they make it do stupid shit. Stone Cold Steve Austin was the ringmaster, for God's sake, right? But when, and he wasn't even that early in his career when that happened. But I understand that, but it's just, I feel like he was like criminally disrespected in multiple places during his career, and it eventually killed him, unfortunately, indirectly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, they didn't even want to do Brett versus Owen. Brett had to convince them, once Brett had enough cachet, that Owen should be the rival. They wanted to do Bruce Hart versus Brett, and like Owen was on the bubble.
What?
Yeah. Owen, when we do Brett versus Owen, because that's one coming down the line. like we can get into it more. But Owen was essentially on the bubble because they saw like next to nothing, which is insane.
Which is crazy to me,
because
dude.
one of the most talented wrestlers of all time. And like
I love Owen Hart. Like this is the least I've ever cared about an Owen Hart match, and this is the only time I was happy that an Owen Hart match was really short, because I was like, this is nothing, and he's wearing those stupid pants and socks. But God damn it, I love that guy.
Now Skinner, are we mulleting Skinner here?
Let me look around.
I need an official weigh-in.
No, I don't think this is a mullet. Okay. I'm not. Listen, this is a fringe situation. He does have some balding up top.
He's on the same plan as Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah, but Jake's just got a little bit more short on top than he does. Yeah. I feel like Skinner's more one length all the way across. This is such a short match that I can't find it. It keeps taking me the same two goddamn screenshots.
Yeah.
But I think he's balding with long hair, so I do not believe, because I think Jake had them cut the top short.
Oh, okay.
And I think Skinner is letting his stuff naturally grow out.
Yeah,
a mullet is an intentional situation. You know,
Skinner's a man of the wild. He's a man of natural tendencies. You know,
he cuts his hair with his knife.
Yeah, he's just gonna let the gators decide how much hair he has.
Yeah.
So
he cuts his hair by gators.
Yeah.
All right, don't take too much off now.
Now listen here. We're back.
Is he Australian?
No, he's from the Everglades. He's
fuck.
He's Florida Gator.
I always assumed he was Australian for some reason.
Be Australian. So yeah. We got Mean Gene backstage with Sid, Justice, and Harvey Whippleman. You see, in WCW, Sid was Sid Vicious, but he comes over to the WWF. They're calling him Sid Justice. Little twist for you on that one. Right as Mean Gene starts to ask the question for Sid yells, "Shut up, you fat, bald little oaf," to Mean Gene. And Sid says that he's going to make this Hogan's last match. He's guaranteeing that's going to be Hogan's last match. And then he says a classic Sid line here, which is, "I am the master and you are the learner." And then the learner is not the phrase that you use. No one goes, "I'm the teacher and you're the learner." In a situation,
it's pupil. It's definitely pupil.
Yeah.
But
or student.
There's also
I'm the teacher and you're the student.
Student, actually, you're right. You nailed that. I was closer to learner than fucking the right thing to say. But he does also like pause. He's like, "I'm the teacher," or "I'm the master, but you are the learner."
And then he cuts to the other camera. He turns to the other camera and he goes, "Hogan,
he does.
Hogan, you are the learner." like he really thought that was the line to drive it home. And then they cut to an interview with Hogan and Vince where they've got Hogan surrounded by pictures of all of his previous accolades, because they're really trying to drive home like, no, this is real life. This is Terry talking right now. This isn't Hulk. Is this going to be Hulk Hogan's last match? And again, whenever he's like, "Is WrestleMania 8 your last match?" He's good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, see, that's
he's like, and he goes, "Just the thought of it sends shivers down my spine, brother."
Yeah.
Like, he's like,
I got my personal life, I've got my various business interests, I've got movies. That's a lot to juggle, brother. You know, I've also went on Arsenio Hall and made a fool of myself, and everyone knows that I've done steroids. So probably better if I step away for a minute, brother, while you're being indicted by the federal government.
Is this before or after he almost killed somebody?
This is after he put Richard Belzer. This is years after he put Belzer in the guillotine choke. No, this is he went on Arsenio because a report came out that he had done steroids, and he goes on Arsenio, and Arsenio softballs him. "Have you ever done steroids?" And Hogan,
and he said, "Define teenage."
Yeah, yeah. He's like, he goes, "Worse than no or worse than yes." He goes, "I did one time for an injury when I was like, 5 years ago or something." And so that's so much worse than yes, I did, but I don't anymore, or just no. Just, yes, I did once for an injury, sounds so much more like a lie because obviously Hulk Hogan did steroids a lot, all the time. And
Yeah,
so,
that's the tough thing about it, because I support athletes using steroids for injuries
yeah,
in specific situations, because it does help you heal. And a lot of times, some injuries you can have, doctors will prescribe steroids to heal better. I mean, with Conor McGregor snapping his leg in half, like
yeah,
he needed some help. But yeah, that's the hard thing, is like, Hulk, hey dude, you've always taken steroids.
yeah,
You've just very clearly always taken steroids. And also, hey Hulk, the guy sitting next to you right now in this screenshot also took steroids for a lot, and is
yeah,
continuing to take steroids, even though he looks like an evil elf come to life now. I mean, an evil doll come to life now.
yeah. So Hogan goes, is it my last match? I won't know until after the match, when you and I sit down and we negotiate if I'm going to continue working for you,
Yeah.
or what you're going to pay me. So then Vince goes, on behalf of myself and all the Hulkamaniacs and also my bank account and my company, we thank you for Hulkamania. And they go back to Sid, and he just yells, "Shut up!" At Gene Okerlund again. He goes, "I don't give a damn about Hulkamania. I don't give a damn about Hulk Hogan. I curse you, Hulk Hogan." And I'm like, dude, this is one of the best Sid promos. It's like
Yeah,
a
and
pretty good Sid promo.
he's stealing Danhausen's bit 30 years before.
Yeah. Only if only there were Sidhausen, you know. It
Yeah.
might have been a second
That
life.
would be a sick team.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Sid and Danhausen.
yeah. What is it? What a babyface combo. They come out second half of the main event of the evening. Hulk Hogan versus Sid Justice. Dr. Harvey Whippleman comes out and calls it Wrestlemania because Harvey Whippleman is from the straight up South, it appears. He has Sid come out. This is where they first start launching the Psycho Sid moniker. The Gorilla Monsoon is kind of the guy to coin the phrase Psycho Sid. This is Hogan's 8th WrestleMania, of course, the 7th one that he's main evented, and then this is Sid's first WrestleMania. So Hogan's still over. Like I think it's over for Hulkamania generally at this point, but when he comes out, it's still a giant ovation for Hulk Hogan.
Dude, yeah, they love him. I mean, it was a giant ovation for Hulk Hogan until he came out and got booed in his last his last appearance. Like, every time people saw Hulk Hogan, they cheered. Like, I was never a big Hulk Hogan guy. I never watched wrestling when Hulk Hogan was wrestling until he came back as the NWO in WWE. With that last run. But if I was in the arena, but before all the really bad stuff came out, I would have popped for Hulk hard. It's freaking Hulk Hogan.
It's Hulk Hogan.
He was in a Three Ninjas movie.
Yeah.
So
this is like this is classic Hogan. They do a test of strength, a long test of strength between Sid and Hogan. Sid hits a choke slam, and then he hits the line that I'm assuming you also wrote down. Do you want to give me the line that you had for Sid, and we'll see if it matches me?
He says, "Do unto a man as he would do unto you." And then he kind of laughs and he goes, "But do it first."
Yep. That's also not the phrase. That's like that.
Well, I think it was intentional.
Oh, you think he's done? You think he's, instead of saying "do unto others" before they do unto you, but do it first?
Well, I guess it's I think it works. Do unto a man as he would do do to a man as he would do whatever I just said. Yeah. I had it written down verbatim. It's funny because that's not the exact phrase, but you get the gist. And I like, but do it first.
Yeah. Sid does hit the power bomb, and then Hogan hulks up for it. Hogan hits the slam and the big leg drop, but this is where things start to get really weird. I don't know if you caught this. Hogan hits the leg drop, but Sid has to kick out at 2 because there's supposed to be a run-in, but the run-in hasn't got there yet. And so Sid kicks out of the leg drop, which is almost unheard of, and then they immediately go to the disqualification finish with Harvey Whippleman, where Whippleman comes into the ring, and then Hogan body presses Whippleman and throws him at Sid, and Sid just catches him, which is also cool. And then we see Papa Shango sneaking down to the ring because he has missed his cue to come and stop the match during the leg drop.
Do you know what happened?
I watched an interview with The Godfather because he
was talking to Undertaker in gorilla position.
He was talking to Ray Traylor. So Papa Shango is also the Godfather, obviously, Kama Mustafa, and he said that he was just backstage waiting for the cue, and they forgot to cue him. So then he's standing there, and then all of a sudden they're like, no, go. And so, but he doesn't run because Papa Shango doesn't run. He has to sneak because that's part of his deal.
He's a sneaky man.
Yeah, he's a witch doctor, for God's sake. And so finally Papa Shango gets out there. They start beating up Hogan, and then Heenan doesn't even really have time to get out the line. Hogan doesn't have a friend left whenever Warriors music hits, because I assume that's what's supposed to happen. Is it supposed to be he doesn't have a friend left, Warriors music hits, and then Warrior comes out. So this is the return of the Ultimate Warrior from SummerSlam 91. He left then, and he is back now in April of 92. He does get a pretty big pop. He clotheslines Papa Shango out of the ring. He no sells a chair shot from Sid, and then he's in the ring, but it's weird. He's got short hair, and he's like clearly less big than he was the last time that we saw him. Like, he's still jacked because the Ultimate Warrior is jacked, but he is not insane looking because he is also not on steroids because now they're testing. So I think he's significantly smaller, to the point that a grade school rumor that went around my school and apparently many other schools is that the original Ultimate Warrior died. And this is a replacement Warrior.
This is Fall McCartney.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is Lim Hellwig. And so
I'm gonna break a rule, and I'm gonna play a video, and hope we don't get in trouble for it, because the Ultimate Warrior hits the ring, and he's so excited that he does a little jig before he hits the ropes.
Yep.
And I have to show this little jig, so hopefully they don't get us. He's walking in right now. Here, I'll play with a little bit of audio too. That's all I'm going to show.
He was listening to some Irish folk music before he got to the ring to get pumped up.
He does a little foot shuffle with like a fist pump. It was very, very Warrior. And then as there's still things happening in the ring, and Warrior is just shaking the shit out of the ropes. Yep. Like,
he's so hyped. If anybody out there is of a mind to put the ska version of Take On Me over the Warrior's little jig and shaking of the ropes, I'd really appreciate that.
Go ahead and send it to us. We don't have any merch to send you, but oh shit, I just realized I'm still sharing my screen. I was trying to look for another screenshot.
And then
damn it, that's gonna get us. That last screen share is gonna get us.
And then the babyfaces pose to end the show, because the edict, of course, for WWF, Hogan must pose. The end of the show, we got to have the Hulkster in the ring.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Well, and Hulk could get somebody had a sign that said "Bring back the Warrior."
Yep.
In the front row, in a very convenient place in the front row that somebody handed to him.
So Hogan wins technically by disqualification in 12 minutes 28 seconds. This match also got -2 stars. The Wrestling Observer newsletter pretty brutal on this one. Yeah, not very good. So it's like the tale of two shows, because it's like Piper and Brett and Savage and Flair are incredible matches.
Yeah.
And then Hogan versus Sid stink the joint out, and then the rest of it is either fine to not very good,
Yeah, and I mean it was overall like there was some fun stuff here, and they got to see the Ultimate Warrior run back in.
Yep.
Like, I meant to ask you. I'm sure I've asked you this before. Did you ever see Warrior in person?
Did I ever see the Warrior? Trying to think. No, never saw Warrior.
Would have been pretty cool to see that intro.
Would have been
entrance.
cool to see that entrance. Yeah, that's one I missed. All right,
you saw the Hulkster though. Didn't you?
I did see the Hulkster. In the WWF comeback Hulkster.
Oh really? NWO Hulkster coming back, or was he?
No, he was back in the red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
Yeah, turns out Hogan.
I remember when he came back in the red and yellow.
Hogan didn't make Fresno during the NWO's main run.
Bastard.
Yeah, he skipped that house show. So in the mullet rankings in the running for WrestleMania 8, we got Shawn Michaels, Jake the Snake, Brian Knobbs, Jerry Saggs, Tatanka, both members of the Natural Disasters, Jimmy Hart, Brutus Barber Beefcake, Sid Justice, Lex Luger, and the $1 Million Man. Quite a rogues gallery.
Yeah.
I'm giving my award for mullet of the night to Brian Knobbs. That blonde mullet is one of the gnarliest ones.
It's a good one. And before I go find it, I just want to show, because we didn't focus on this before, Shawn Michaels' great mullet. Yeah. It's a real good mullet. I found a quick screenshot of that. The Brian Knobbs mullet, listen, it is pretty much the quintessential gross mullet. Yeah. Like, it is a just an all-time gross mullet. I can't really argue with you on that one. I don't think it's not my style of mullet. It's not the mullet that really gets me going, you know what I mean? But it is a good mullet, and I'm trying to find a goddamn screenshot of it. But oh, there we go. There's a good one. It's really hard to do this with video. You guys should be really appreciative of what I'm doing, unless you're listening in the audio, in which case you're probably really annoyed. In which case, go ahead and get YouTube Premium for us. But it is a good mullet.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, that if you're judging a classical mullet contest, I think Brian Knobbs is tough to beat.
I do definitely go Knobbs over Saggs.
Yeah.
When it comes to mullets. I buried the lead a little bit earlier on. I did spoil what my mullet of the evening was going to be. My mullet of the evening is definitely Brutus the Barber Beefcake's mullet. He always had a good mullet when he had one. And I just can't go against this just luscious situation.
It's also a good one. It makes sense because he's a barber that he would have such a well sculpted mullet. You know, he's doing it himself.
I wonder if they gave him like a bigger like maintenance per diem to keep a good haircut.
Oh,
you know how they gave DiBiase money all the time.
Yeah. They're like, you got to not look like your shit's ratty if you're a barber.
Yeah, because there's also a dye job, I believe, in this mullet. Like, he's got different hair colors going.
Yeah. He's
within this whole thing.
He's definitely doing a blonde like fill-in, you know.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like color texture going on. You know, I don't even know if that's a thing, but I'm gonna make it a thing. And so Ed Leslie gets my mullet of the evening.
Well, the last thing that I wanted to do on this episode is talk about. So the big thing here is Hogan washed? Is Savage washed? We have to bring in new, younger stars because our guys, Vince's cutoff used at that point hilariously was, if you're 40, you got to fucking hit the bricks, and we're taking you off TV. And so at WrestleMania,
that is very funny considering the roster even now.
At WrestleMania 8, the 4 main eventers, Hulk Hogan is 38, Sid Justice is 31. Randy Savage is 39 and Flair is 41. So that's, you know, we're kind of upper late 30s, upper 40s or early 40s for everybody.
You said Hulk Hogan's 38.
38. And those are road miles. Like, these are guys that have done the territories for years.
This man I'm going to be 36 next month.
Yeah.
In a month and 6 days. And that's a 38-year-old man. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's a 1992 third. That's wrestles 300 times a year, 400 times, depending
I'm starting to believe him
on his Japan dates. last year's WrestleMania, the 4 main eventers, Cody Rhodes is 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already out. Randy Orton is 46.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns, 40 years old. Kick him to the brick. kick him to the side.
Take him out back and shoot him.
And our friend Phil CM Punk Brooks, 48 years old.
Yeah.
In the main event, which I mean, I know that things have gotten better. The nutrition's better. The road schedule's better. The guys take better care of themselves these days. All of that. But it's crazy to think that Randy Savage, who's 39 years old, is going to be essentially forcibly retired at the end of the year and then have another like 8 years of pro wrestling in him in WCW, where him and Flair in WCW, their feud that they reignite there basically saves the WCW house show business. Like they start making actual money and going towards a profit because of Flair versus Savage in WCW.
Because Savage hadn't even jumped off the blue cage yet.
No, and like Hogan's not making the house show towns. So Flair versus Savage is the big draw for all of the house shows, and they really start making money based on that. And so did
the Outsiders hit a lot of house shows?
When I saw the one WCW house show that I recall coming to Fresno, I did see the Outsiders, which was pretty cool. Got to.
And did you see Flair Savage?
No, I saw Flair versus Six, and I saw Savage versus DDP. So that was
hell yeah, dude. And that's pretty sick.
And Guerrero versus Malenko, and they went like 20 minutes to start the show. It was awesome.
That's a pretty good house show, man.
It's a pretty good house show. I might look to see if I can find the card of that, because that would be fun. They dusty finished the main event of our house show, where they had Luger and the Giant versus the Outsiders, and they teased a title change, which I assume they did in every town.
What year was it?
1997. I think it was like June 97. But
I got June 27th, 1997. Eddie Guerrero versus Dean Malenko.
Yep.
The Steiner brothers versus Masachono and Yugi.
Oh, Yuji Nagata?
Yeah, they said that Yugi. They said Yuji. I didn't catch his last name on this one. Rey Mysterio versus Buff Bagwell.
I do not remember that match, but I'm glad I saw it.
It was the most entertaining match of the night. Rey Mysterio Jr. defeated Buff Bagwell with his usual Hurricane Rana. This match was very fast-paced and saw Rey do his usual high-flying stuff. Can't say good enough things about Bagwell. I don't know who's writing all this. He plays the ring to perfection. I mean, I agree. Both these men need to be getting bigger pushes. I completely agree as well. This is Jeff Rockholt of the Wrestling Review writing this. After intermission, Ric Flair came out to the biggest pop of the night. He defeated Six by making him submit to the figure 4 leg lock. And then DDP defeated Macho Man Randy Savage. Back and forth match throughout. The most brutal match involving many out-of-ring spots.
Yeah.
And Savage went for his patented flying elbow. DDP got his legs up in time to nail Savage. DDP pulled him up and bang, diamond cutter. And then main event saw the Outsiders hold on to the tag team belts. Lex Luger and the Giant were DQ'd when the Giant used one of the belts on Nash. At that time, Lex had Hall in the rack, but Hall wouldn't submit. When Nash tried to go after Lex with one of the belts, the Giant grabbed the belt and nailed Nash instead. That seems like a fucking awesome show, dude.
Yeah, and that's one that I don't even remember, like all of the stuff. But yeah,
you remembered a surprising amount, because you and I went to a WWE house show, and I don't remember anything except for how hot I thought Alexa Bliss was when I saw her for the first time.
Yeah,
and we saw Roman Reigns that night.
Yeah, I remember that one because the WCW never came to to like our area, and so it was awesome to get to go. And also I remember it because the reason I got to go was I signed up for whatever, like intermediate baseball or something.
Hell yeah, dude.
and had to pay for it. But I was like, my mom got a call from the person who was operating it, and they were like, we don't know if Dusty, like, if it's gonna be fun for him. And so my mom was like, do you want to keep doing this, or do you want or do
To
you
go see
want
WCW
yeah
in
or
Fresno.
do you not want to do that? And then I was like, well, I guess maybe not. And then right then they announced the house show, and it was like, oh, we could take that money and apply it to a thing I'm really interested in. You want me to go out and get like sun and be athletic or whatever? I just want to see Randy Savage versus Diamond Dallas Page. Lean into your kids' interests, you know.
Listen, it led you to where you are now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
later on, they might be on a successful podcast where people tell them they don't know the big boss man's job. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, that was WrestleMania 8. The weekend of WrestleMania 8, a couple big movies came out for you and me, Andrew. Number 6 at the box office. It was number 3 last week. It's Wayne's World, all timer.
So good.
If he were an ice cream flavor, he'd be pralines and dick.
And dick.
And then
right on to Detroit.
Right, yeah. And then number 3, opening with a robust 7 million, a movie I saw many times that upset me as a kid, Beethoven. We got Charles Grodin and Beethoven the dog. When they were mean to Beethoven, I got really mad when I was a kid.
I was a big this is just classic Andrew. I was a big Beethoven 2 guy.
Of course. Well, you want Beethoven to find love. You're a classic romantic at heart.
It just happened, like I fell in love with whatever movies they most often had available to rent at the library, and Beethoven 2 was always available, and Sean Penn's brother was in it.
That's what. Well, and Beethoven wasn't available because it was always being rented. Nobody cared about Beethoven second.
That's what it was. I ended up with, you know how many times I rented Home Alone 3?
Dude, that one has Scarlett Johansson in it, which is like a sneaky.
I was in love with that girl, man.
That was like a sneaky good answer on a movie trivia game that I used to play. Because it's like,
and I wouldn't have gotten that right until like a year ago. Somebody posted something from Home Alone 3, and I was like, oh yeah, that girl. I had a huge crush on that girl when I was a kid. I wonder what happened to that girl. And I looked it up, and I was like, that's Scarlett Johansson,
one of the biggest movie stars in the world. Classic,
still hot. That's
classic
crazy.
Andrew.
It makes me hate Colin Jost. Actually,
yeah,
like he's got a weird thing happening with his face, and he pulls Scarlett Johansson. I'm a comedian.
Yeah. The Billboard 200 Wayne's World soundtrack, pretty good.
It's a good soundtrack, man.
We got Bohemian Rhapsody. We've got Dreamweaver re-recorded by a guy named Gary Wright, who I don't think, maybe he is the original singer. We've got a Red Hot Chili Pepper song I've never heard of called Sika Mika Nico. Did I do anything for you?
That was no, but that is, I think Blood Sugar Sex Magic came out in 1992.
Yeah.
And that's not on Blood Sugar Sex Magic, so I bet that's one of their like super fast, funky, like Hillel Slovak songs. But I don't know for sure.
I tried to look it up. There's no Wikipedia for it. It was a B-side for Under the Bridge. So I think
so it was around. It was, but it's not on Blood Sugar Sex Magic. So that's interesting.
A song that we both love, Ballroom Blitz. That's the Tia Carrere cover of it from the movie,
which is good. I prefer the sweet version.
Yeah.
But it is a good rendition for sure.
Foxy Lady by Jimi Hendrix and Feed My Frankenstein by Alice Cooper, which is also an awesome song. Milwaukee is Algonquin for the good land.
That is a great song. That is a great song.
This guy know how to party or what?
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Yeah, watch Wayne's World, man. Go, but take a trip down memory lane. Really good.
It's so good, man.
There are new jokes to be discovered every time, not unlike WrestleMania 8. I think we're gonna leave WWF in 1992 for a little bit. I haven't decided what we're going to do for next week, but I assure you, more great wrestling content and possibly Wayne's World talk on next week's Wrestling Over Everything. Thank you to everybody who listens. We appreciate you. Like Andrew said, leave a comment. Let us know what other wrestlers' job we might have gotten wrong in the future. We appreciate.
He's not a barber. He's a
he's a technician. All right, bye everybody.
Love you.